Hello, welcome to today's interview focusing on the UK economy and its position within the European Union. I am joined by Clarke from Scotia Bank, based in London. Alan, the UK economy grew 0.7% in the third quarter. Where does this rank it within Europe?
The simple answer is we don't know just yet, because the UK is the only country to have released growth figures for the third quarter, but we can guess with a reasonable degree of certainty where the rest of Europe will be, and chances are much slower than the UK, not much above zero growth in the rest of the Eurozone. So the UK is doing much better, even though we're slowing down a little bit. We grew by 0.9 earlier on in the year, and we're coming off a little bit. We're still running much faster than the rest of Europe, so it's slowing, but it's not a disaster by any stretch of the imagination.
What is your outlook for the UK economy in longer terms? How strong will any rebound be?
Well, I think we've probably had the best of the growth that we're actually going to have. Earlier this year, you had some really favourable tailwinds. Housing market was booming, house prices rising by 10% year on year. And when you've got house prices going up, people feel good, they're more confident to go and splash out. And that's really been a boost to growth. But it's not going to last forever. And we're already seeing signs that the housing market is starting to cool off. So that sort of artificial turbo boost is fading away. And as we get into next year, at some point interest rates are going to rise. It's going to take money out of people's pockets. They'll be less inclined to spend. So things are as good as they're going to get. 0.7% growth in Q3 is fine, but I think we're probably going to come off a little bit more, but still growing something like 0.5% every 3 months, 2% per year. Nothing to worry about, but just not as good as it has been.
David Cameron has told MPs the UK will not pay the extra £1.7 billion demanded by the European Union. What do you think about the EU's demand?
Yeah, this is a funny one because it's based on calculations that happen every 10, 15 years where the UK economic growth numbers are recalculated as they are with the rest of Europe, so that we're all singing from the same hymn sheets, that we've all calculated our growth numbers the same way. And the headlines this year were that our GDP numbers will be revised to include illegal activities like prostitution and illegal drugs. And these sort of little quirky things have raised the estimate of how much our economy produces. And because of this, our economy is now seen as bigger than it was previously, and as such we owe more in contributions to the EU. These activities didn't generate tax inflows to the UK government, so to be forced to pay money out to the EU as a result of it is a bit weird, and it's all very backward looking. So this is a funny one, and quite how it gets resolved I have no idea.
Thank you, Alan. That wraps up today's look at the UK. Stay with Dukascopy for more in-depth focus. Goodbye.